Beyond, the world's oldest alphabet. Hebrew Memories at Mount Sinai. This is based on the peer-reviewed paper by Ronald Stewart. Copyright Ronald Stewart, 2011, 2019, all rights reserved. This is a look and a study of Dr. Douglas A. Petrovich, Ph.D.'s book on the world's oldest alphabet being Hebrew. We now re-examine that more as follows. The video that we're about ready to talk about is Dr. Petrovich's 2017 interview with Israeli News Live, which may be seen at the following URL. His 400% magnification technique for diagnosing, analyzing, and examining his research allegedly is greatly flawed and does not work as he claims it does. Therefore, Dr. Petrovich cannot claim that his research into Proto-Sinaitic phonetic lettered Hebrew as being the world's oldest alphabet. Here are the main points to what Dr. Petrovich allegedly stated in the portion of his interview with Israeli News Live that you just watched, beginning at about 3:30, 3 minutes and 30 seconds into the video, and ending at about 4:15, 4 minutes and 15 seconds into the video. Dr. Petrovich claims, allegedly stating, number one, that in 1923 a German scholar named Herbert Grimm was only able to ascertain and perceive what he was looking at as far as the Proto-Hebrew letters were concerned, and that to only a very limited visual point, therefore, that this greatly limited this scholar's ability to draw, decipher, and translate other data he could actually and visually see with his eyes. Also mentioning that this, and meaning that this also applied to scholars before Herbert Grimm as well. Number two. However, Dr. Petrovich also further allegedly states that because of today's computer technology, that he or Dr. Petrovich could use his PowerPoint 400% magnification tool program and enlarge whatever letters he saw, allowing him to make a very accurate computer drawing. Then he adds, so that it could be manipulated after you draw it, thus allowing Dr. Petrovich to keep on correcting it so that it would come out exactly right. However, is this really so? So, again, we reiterate in number three, is this really so? The answer is no. Why? Because in number three, in 2016, Dr. Nathaniel E. Green, Ph.D., wrote an article entitled Sinai 115 and Historical Canaanite Phonology on Dr. Petrovich's claims and work. Dr. Green decided to test out, and he duplicated Dr. Petrovich's technique to see or determine if it did what Dr. Petrovich allegedly states it did. In so many words, the results from Dr. Green's duplication in his article on Dr. Petrovich's technique, when expanding it to 400%, was that the photo becomes pixelated, starts to break up, loses resolution, becomes distorted, blurry, begins to get out of shape, has no uniformity in the letters. On the stele, the data is much less and not discernible. You may read Dr. Green's examination and analysis of this technique of Dr. Petrovich at this following URL, where he also adds much more information. However, it goes even much further than that. For the author of the peer-reviewed paper that is mentioned in the beginning of this video, here in number 4, Ronald Stewart, myself, who is also the producer of this video, also duplicated Dr. Petrovich's 400% magnification technique. And in order to be more than just and fair in the situation, this was tested in 4 or more computer programs that have a magnification capable of 400%, such as PowerPoint, Adobe Acrobat Pro PDF, Nitro Pro PDF, and Windows Magnification Tool programs. The results were the same and are strikingly the same as Dr. Green's results were as well. Of Dr. Petrovich's photo of the bottom part of the Sinai 115 stele, located at Sarabet El Kadim, near Sukkoth, South Egypt. The photo starts to break up in all situations, and all 4 times the photo breaks up, loses resolution, becomes distorted, blurry, begins to get out of shape, has no uniformity to the letters in the stele, and the data is much less and not discernible as well. Therefore, this could put into serious question the claims of Dr. Petrovich, not only on the Sarabet El Kadim location Sinai-115 stele that he makes claims about going all the way back to 1842 BCE and having to do with the early patriarchs, but by using the same technique on any and all of his other artifacts that he examined, in which he said is the world's oldest Hebrew alphabet, could also put them into serious question, and also question seriously the reliability and dependability of his claims in these other artifacts as well, especially now that he's writing a second book. This is Sinai 115-115 stele. Credit Egypt Exploration Society. This photo was taken approximately by Sir Flinders Petrie, who was investigating this stele in approximately 1905. We're going to zoom in slowly with a limited 3-dimensional view of the bottom of a stele. Here's where Petrovich claims has several biblical figures. Now, what we are trying to look for is what we're going to find in the drawing made by Dr. Petrovich, where in the middle is supposed to be a Semitic man riding a donkey, and in front of him and in back of him is also supposed to be 2 more Semitic men as well. However, we're going to concentrate on the left to see if a Semitic man is there. Or this illustration here is an illustration marked in red by me, author of the book and also this video, Ronald Stewart. And this is based on the work and illustration by Dr. Petrovich and my understanding of his interpretation and translation based upon his work of Sinai 115 inscription stele. However, is Dr. Petrovich correct? No, he is not. Why? Well, in order to answer that, we're going to have to go through a lot more explanation and study of this. But in order to take a look at this even further, we have to also look at the photo on the right, which is a credit to the Egyptian Exploration Society, and we're going to do some more evaluation on this. This is from 1905. Now, my illustration based on Dr. Petrovich's illustration and work to the left, we're going to first take a look at what should be a Semitic man in front of what appears to be like a donkey, right there where that pointer is. There's a Semitic man we're going to take a look at first. And of course there it shows it right there. And that same Semitic man is supposed to be right there in front of the donkey, approximately right there where the pointer's pointing right there at all, as well. Now we're going to take that man in the illustration and put it right there in the same position as that man in front of the donkey, and we're going to see basically if the same shape approximately would fit right there. We can go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And we can see that there might possibly be indentations, lines, and an outline of a possible Semitic man in front of the donkey. However, and we're going to take another look at it in black and white as well, also based on a moment, and concentrate on the image in the middle, which may be another Semitic man riding the donkey. And we're going to show right there, approximately in the same location, and the lines and demarcations there, although even very worn away and faded, looks like a possible man could be riding there, a Semitic man on the donkey. However, what we want to concentrate on and look in deep detail is right here where the red square is. There is completely nothing there whatsoever. Nothing. What's supposed to be there, as we had originally seen previously, in these red markings, which is based upon Dr. Petrovich's work and interpretation and my understanding of the way he is interpreting it and translating it, that he's stating it right there, excuse me, is supposed to be a Semitic man, right there, going back and forth, back and forth. However, we can see there is nothing whatsoever there in the red square at all. But we're going to take a closer look at this, even in black and white, again, to get a different visual perspective, based on Dr. Petrovich's illustration and his work in like manner. Take it much further than that. We're going to examine the Sinai 115 stele here. Here's the bottom image that Dr. Petroglyph shows, and that's 100% of its size. And then to the right is where it's at 200%, right here, and we can see that's where the stele starts to break up. Now, when we take a look at the area right in there on the top left corner, we can see that what looks like a donkey, or he draws as a donkey, but here in the upper left corner, that is also greatly affected. And we can see right there on the donkey that on what is supposed to be a leg in the forefront is starting to look jagged and pixelated. However, right here in this area within the red square outline, we can see that at 400% there is nothing there to draw from. Nothing at all to draw from. And this is something we want to show as well. However, on the bottom part, on what he draws from his book and in his claims, allegedly, we see that he shows that a man is in the bottom left corner, right there in the bottom left corner of the drawing. Right there where the oval outline is, he draws what might be a Semitic man within the oval outline behind the donkey. However, as we take a closer look at it, is it really there? And to refer that this would be a Hebrew behind the donkey really is very, very vague. Because even if it's a Semitic man, the point is that the Semitic area applied to many, many nations in and around Egypt. Therefore, it could be any nation. For example, Syrio-Palestine, Lebanon, Arabia, or any other Asiatic countries, etc. So to say it is a Semitic man is very, very vague. However, if we go back up to the top and compare it and draw a red square in that area, it'll show nothing. where we draw the square right here, there is nothing. Nothing at all. So how can you draw something on the bottom in the oval outline from nothing in the rectangular square on top when there's nothing there to draw from? That kind of example also shows that what he drew allegedly is not correct, and it's erroneous as well. It puts into further question his evaluation and assessment. Now, what we want to show here is that this is the tool we use to resize and enlarge the photo. We're now going to increase that at 200% and enlarge that and show you what it looks like. The 100% size photo in the upper left top corner. And we're going to let you see this with your own eyes. Press it on OK. Now, that's 200% of what you had seen from the previous image. And yet on the left-hand side bottom corner, there's nothing there. Now, look at this. Here on the left bottom corner, there's no man there. There's nothing, no indications, no even faded lines to indicate that there's a man there. At all. None whatsoever. As we would see in the bottom drawing. Now remember, this is only at 200%. We still have not expanded it yet to 400%. And right there, there's nothing. So, we know that there's nothing there. You can't draw something from nothing. And yet here, again, as we take a look up there on top in the photo, there's nothing. But yet on the bottom left corner, we see there again, in which this image was magnified at 200% as well. And we can see that some of the bird on the upper left bottom corner is kind of getting faded. But now what will it do at 400% magnification, as Dr. Petrovich claims in the Israeli News Live video? Will it show the man down there at 400%? Okay, we increase that to 400%, and as you can see on the top, on the size indicator, press the OK button right there, and boom, there we now have 400%. And this is what it looks like there at 400%, right there. Okay, but now at 400%, we're going to take a look at the top here, the top image on the left-hand side, and we're going to see right there on the bottom, where there's no indication right there whatsoever of a man, or the outline, or demarcations, or lines, or indentations to show there's a man. We then compare this right there with the bottom part right there, where Dr. Petrovich shows that as we zoom in a little closer now to the top again, we can see that where Dr. Petrovich had claimed that there was a Semitic man behind the donkey, that there's nothing there. Nothing whatsoever. Much more to be revealed in part number 5.